Hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live Manchester United news and discussion show. INEOS making big decisions on Ruben Amorim, which could have costly implications for Manchester United. A big meeting is set to go down with the board. Jason Wilcox could be sacked. I take that story with a pinch of salt because I don't like the source of information. Updates on Kobbie, the horrendous treatment of Kobbie Mainoo from Ruben Amorim. People are trying to justify it, saying that Kobbie doesn't work hard. Everyone in and around the academy said that Kobbie works hard. There's no justification for Ruben Amorim's treatment of Kobbie Mainoo. The same people that are trying to justify Ruben Amorim's treatment of Kobbie Mainoo were the same people trying to justify Forson starting over Amad Diallo. Do you remember when Ten Hag wouldn't play Amad and kept playing Forson and would ignore Amad? You lot, yeah, who try to justify that, are trying to justify the treatment of Mainoo. Mainoo brings control. What do we lack? Control. When we need control, who do we bring in? Chaos. Agate is the opposite of control. And the crap that came out of Ruben Amorim's mouth today, if this club does not let Kobbie Mainoo go on loan, they are a disgrace. Kobbie Mainoo has every right to be pushing for a loan move because he's been treated disgracefully. If we were top of the league or second in the league and our midfield had been amazing all season, we'd say it's just unlucky. But our midfield has been crap. Our system is crap. The manager is crap. And this guy can't get more than 10 minutes off the bench. He's not started a game all season. And when he does start a game, he's asked to do a role that does not have anything to do with him. He's someone that can be useful in build-up. He's someone that can control the ball. And then Ruben Amorim's like, I'm going to play him and ask him to cover 1 million miles of space and completely misutilise him and use him wrong. The treatment of Kobbie Mainoo is a sackable offence. Ruben Amorim's talk is sackable. Do you know what? We've got to talk about INEOS. Because even despite this awful form, they're saying, it's been said by Romano that United keep supporting Ruben Amorim at this point of the season. From someone I spoke to, they said no matter what happens, INEOS plan to back Amorim to the end of the season. INEOS plan to back Amorim no matter what till the end of the season, according to someone I spoke to, but you never know, things can change. I think if we lose our next 3 games in a row, things can change. Yeah. But that could cost INEOS a lot of money. We talk about INEOS being obsessed with cost cutting. INEOS are obsessed with cost cutting, yeah? Ruben Amorim needs another £500 million spent to make his system work. Ruben Amorim has turned £100 million talent in Kobbie Mainoo a year and a half ago to a player we might get 30 million for. Ruben Amorim cost a lot of money to bring in. There's been nothing cost efficient about Ruben Amorim, and he might cost us 60, 70 million if we don't get European football next season. And look, we won yesterday, we're 5th, and we don't have this meltdown, we don't have this conversation. But it's not just the results and where we are in the league, it's the performances. Can you actually tell me if you enjoy watching Man United play? If you've enjoyed our performances the last year under Ruben Amorim? Because other than Everton 4-0 and Sunderland 2-0, and maybe a couple of the Europa League games like the comeback versus, was it Lyon? Yeah. I think maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 games since Ruben Amorim's come in, I've probably actually enjoyed watching that. 5 in a year under Ruben Amorim. So it's not just about, well, actually, Alice, look, if we win, we could have gone 5th. And 5th is really good. I mean, if we talked about 5th 3 years ago, you'd be saying it was a disgrace. But the standards have fallen. Ruben Amorim's let the standards drop. No other manager was allowed to finish outside the top 4 without getting slandered. 6th was a disgrace under Ollie. 6th was a disgrace for Ten Hag. But under Ruben Amorim, 6th is good. 7th is okay. 5th is amazing. But under every other manager, 5th was bad because we've let the standards. This manager has taken the standards to another level of low. And we talk about INEOS, all this cost cutting, trying to be cost efficient. Well, Ruben Amorim is a huge mistake that could cost United a lot of money. Because I generally think that we have an opportunity to sneak Champions League football, to sneak 5th place. I think that this squad, with 1 game a week, is more than capable and more than good enough and has enough quality to go and get European football. But I don't believe Amorim can do that. And you might say if we won that game, we would have gone 4th. If we won that game, we would have gone 5th. But we didn't win those games. A good manager would be winning those games. Because the reason we didn't win those games is despite Everton going down to 10 men 10 minutes into the game, we still set up with the most cowardly football. We're at home to a 10-man Everton side. We have an opportunity to go 4th. The manager does not change a thing, and he sets us up so defensive, so cowardly. Yeah? And then we play West Ham, who are shite, who are relegation level, that made Liverpool look good. And he set us up so defensively. So defensively. Those 2 games, we could have won. We should be beating Everton and we should be beating West Ham. And we're on 5 more points. And if we're on 5 more points, we're 3rd in the league. Yeah? And we'd all be like, wow. But the reason we didn't get those 5 more points, which is 2 of our easiest games we're going to have, is because the manager didn't change a thing and set us up so badly. So badly. A good manager would have made changes as soon as Everton went down to 10 men and we win that game 2-3-0. Because Newcastle go and batter an 11-men Everton 4-1 the next week. A good manager wouldn't have been making the in-game choices Ruben Amorim made versus West Ham. We need control versus West Ham. He brings on a guy. A guy is chaos. Ruben Amorim dropped us points in those 2 games. I don't care. He did. We had a good second half versus Crystal Palace because they were absolutely knackered and we upped the intensity. We scraped from a set piece a result versus an awful Tottenham side. Ahmad Brilliance got a result versus an awful Forest side. Forest were 19th when we played them. And in fact, we didn't play well versus them when we scraped a point for individual brilliance. Tottenham have won one home game all season. That was against Burnley. Yeah? Tottenham dropped points to Wolves, have won 1 of their last 7 games. And it took a last-minute set piece to get an equaliser when they outplayed us in the second half. Yeah? We beat Crystal Palace, but the first half of football was one of the worst first halves of football I've seen in my life. We then go and drop points to a 10-man Everton when they had 10 men for 80 minutes, and we can't beat this West Ham side. We're going to lose Ahmad. We've got Wolves. If we don't get 3 points versus Wolves, that's sackable in itself, because Wolves were on 2 points in the worst team in Premier League history. Yeah, and they're missing João Gomez, their best player. But what I'm saying is, we're about to lose Ahmad and Mbumo to AFCON, yeah? We've got Wolves. We've got Bournemouth who are in crap form, who we should hopefully beat because Bournemouth are in crap form. So that's 2 games we should win. We have to win both Wolves and Bournemouth because Bournemouth have been atrocious. We win both Wolves and Bournemouth, I'll lay off Amorim for a little bit. Because then we're going to lose our main guys to AFCON. And that's going to be big. And that's going to be a big loss. I'm saying this now. The standards have got low. It's not all on Amorim. The players could up the intensity. The players could up the effort. Amorim got it tactically spawned versus Arsenal, and we were unlucky. You know? There's games where I've said that was on the players. But the most recent points we've dropped, West Ham and Everton, was on Amorim. And it was on his tactical decisions. Because if you look at our squad, and you look at West Ham squad, and you look at Everton squad, and you look at the fact we're at home, we should be beating those teams. And it wasn't just the fact that we dropped points. We played badly. You cannot deny the fact that we played badly. It's not, oh, but Alice, if we won, we would have been 5th. And if we're 5th, would you be shouting Amorim out? I'm just looking at the performance, the football we play. It's not about, oh, if we won, we'd be 5th. Are you happy with the football we're playing? Have you liked watching us the last year? Because if the answer is yes, then surely you're not a Man United fan. The standards won't return until the Glazers leave. Sadly, I agree. The standards are a disgrace at this club. The standards are a disgrace. Amorim is the biggest fraud, saying it from the beginning. He lowered the standards even further. I mean, the standards are at an all-time low. Want someone to blame our captain throwing his arms around for mistakes he makes. What an absolute clown, says Josh. I thought Bruno had a good game yesterday. I thought Bruno was the only one trying to make things happen. But, yeah, sometimes Bruno frustrates me. Amorim is taking the fan base for idiots. He just spits garbage and lies in press conferences. Just going through the chat here. Wasted advantages annoy me. Everton 10 men, West Ham no Paquetá, Wolves no Gomez. If we don't beat Wolves, guys, I mean, I just think right now, I want to be positive. I want to be nice. Alice, I believe that you can find it in your heart to back this club to turn it around. Let's not get us divided during these times. And I agree, like, it's not nice to be divided as a fan base during these times. But I can't. I've tried to be positive at Amorim. I've tried to give him time. Every time I get a bit of hope, reality hits me again. I want Amorim to turn it around. I want to be able to sit here and say I was wrong about Amorim. So glad no one listened to me. So glad we didn't sack him. And Amorim turns it around. I just don't believe he will, because he's done the same thing over and over again for a year. He doesn't make any changes, any adaptations. When we go 1-0 down, I'm going to sub a centre-back. It's 1-1 with 10 minutes versus West Ham. We could go for a winner. You've got Shea Lacey. You've got Mainoo. You could take a defender off and you could put an attacking player on. Your West Ham are in the relegation zone. We're at home to a team in a relegation zone who've made it 1-1. There's 2 players on the bench, one that can bring midfield control, one attacking player on the bench. You sub on a centre-back. I can't get behind that. And as I said, INEOS have made a huge decision on Amorim, which could cost us millions. Man United have an opportunity to get back in Europe this season, to maybe sneak Champions League. And if they stick with Ruben Amorim to the end of the season, which is what Man United are planning to do, and Ruben Amorim doesn't get European football, that could cost us millions. If we sack him here or there now, bring in somebody that can get us to the end of the season, adapt to the squad's strengths and get us European football, we can go into next transfer window with 60, 70 million more in the bank. Ruben Amorim, I think keeping him to the end of the season could cost us a lot of money. Because we're very close to European football. And we should get European football this season. And if we don't get European football this season, it's a disgrace by Amorim. Yeah? It's a disgrace if we don't get European football. And I don't know if he's going to get it, because every time we've got an opportunity to get European football and we play an easy team, he loses. Like, I tell you this now, if we have an opportunity to beat Wolves and go 5th again, I'm not confident we'll beat Wolves. And everyone's beaten them. If Joel Gomez is the best player, he's going to be out. The Wolves midfield is so bad, it's going to make our midfield look like the best midfield in the world. And our midfield's been crap this season. Not Bruno and Casemiro individually, but the system of the midfield's been crap. But Wolves set up, the way Wolves set up, we should be walking all over them. If we don't walk all over Wolves, we have to beat... even if we beat Wolves 1-0 and it's a crap performance and a lucky goal, I'd still say sack him. We should be beating Wolves 3-0. We should be battering Wolves 3-4-0. Yeah, name a manager that's been this bad and turned it around. People say Arteta. Arteta was never this bad. And also, if you look at Arteta's squad, should we look at Arsenal squad? When did Arteta join Arsenal? When did Arteta join Arsenal? Arteta joined Arsenal as manager, I don't know, in 2019. So let's look at Arsenal squad 1920, yeah? Let's look at who Arteta had. Yeah, when we're comparing Amorim to Arteta. Okay? He had Leno in goal. He had Socrates at centre-back. He had Socrates, Callum Chamber and Mustafi at centre-back and Rob Holding. We've got Leacher, who's clear of Rob Holding. We've got De Ligt, who's clear of Mustafi. We've got Euro, who's clear of Callum Chambers. And we've got Maguire, who's clear of Socrates. So that's who he had at centre-back, yeah? He then had players like Pablo Mari, crap player. An injury-prone Kieran Tierney. Nacho Monreal. Do you remember how bad Nacho Monreal was? Maitland-Niles. Cedric. Torreira. Xhaka was a good player. Ceballos looked all right at one point. Mkhitaryan. Yeah. Okay, he had Ozil. Saka was 18? Can't really... Aubameyang. Like, Ruben Amorim has got Cunha. He's got Mbumo. He's got Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, De Ligt, Mazraoui. You know, and you look at the players Arteta had as well, much worse than what we've got. Wan-Bissaka was unreal. Wan-Bissaka was absolutely unreal. Unreal yesterday, I'll give you that. Let me scroll through the chat. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. I'm very behind. There's been like 1 million people in the chat today. Arteta's concerned to world-class manager, which is actually nuts. Amorim isn't even 1% of what Arteta was during his first season. It's the dumbest comparison ever. Arteta was a lot better. Arteta was a lot better than Amorim. I'm trying to find. I can't find it. Anyway, I was trying to find a stat here, but I can't. So I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom of the chat. People who keep saying this fan base are toxic, no, they're not. They're tired of mediocrity. Yeah, you say anything negative on the manager, you're toxic. What, are you 12? Are you 12? Look at how we're playing for a year. If Amorim had us in second place playing good football and I was Ruben Amorim out, you could say, look, but it's not about being toxic. It's not about being player FC. It's the fact that we just have standards. We don't want Man United to be this crap. Everyone's trying to make out that Kobbie is washed and Amorim's right for not utilising him. I don't think he fully suits Amorim's system. But I'll say this now. I'm not player FC. I would never pick a player over a manager, but I am Kobbie over Ruben Amorim now. And I saw Charlie say this on Twitter. Charlie said on Twitter, I don't often support one player over a manager in situations like this, but it's obvious to me that Man United's ceiling as a team is much higher with Mainoo in it than with Ruben Amorim as manager. The two can't coexist. And I'm with Charlie on that. He's trying to gaslight you into thinking that Mainoo isn't good enough. Mainoo came back from a nasty injury, was man of the match against Liverpool, was man of the match in an FA Cup final against Manchester City, was man of the match in the semi-final for the Euros of England, broke into the England World Cup squad and dropped loads of world-class performances. And people are trying to gaslight us into thinking that Mainoo's this crap player and that Amorim is the future. And if you criticise Amorim, you're toxic. I want Amorim to succeed. I do. I want to sit here and say I was wrong. I want to sit here and say I got it wrong. I do, but I don't think he is. 1 week of rest. Just baffling. Kobbie can't get a look. Not like we're even playing brilliant, leaving him out. I know. It's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, Indy Caller's... We'll talk about what Indy Caller's saying, but I think he's full of crap, to be honest. So Indy Caller is dropping that Jason Wilcox could be sacked. And the Americans at Manchester United are not happy with Jason Wilcox, director of football role at United. Review planned, information from club source. Apparently they're reviewing Jason Wilcox. Well, you know what? Dan Ashworth is the one guy that knew what he was doing and you got rid of him. Got rid of Dan Ashworth. The one guy that said, I don't know if we should bring Ruben Amorim in because we're going to have to spend a lot of money to make it work under him. And I'm not convinced. You know? So, they might sack Jason Wilcox. Someone said to me yesterday, this is just like general conversation, not someone that gets news or information or knows anything. But he was saying that he thinks the only reason Amorim's not been sacked is because of ego. INEOS don't want to admit they got it wrong. They sacked Ten Hag, they brought in Amorim, they sacked Dan Ashworth for questioning why they brought in Amorim, who they spent a lot of money to bring in. If they sack Amorim now, and they realise they sacked someone like Dan Ashworth over this disagreement, they look wrong. It's Ratcliffe's ego. A lot of people saying Ratcliffe's ego is the reason why. And I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Ratcliffe's ego is the reason why Ruben Amorim is still at this club. Indy Calia gets one thing right and 99 things wrong. Yeah, I don't think Jason Wilcox is going to be sacked. But there is rumours of Jason Wilcox being sacked. Yeah. Sad part is many of these players would suit a mid-3 and back 4 much better. Could easily make tweaks into a full recruitment. I agree with Alex. He's not been sacked because we're 3 points off top 4. But if he was sacked and a different manager had come in, we could be second in the league right now. So, yeah, we're 3 points off top 4. But we just... if Ruben Amorim, if we had a competent manager instead of Ruben Amorim, we'd have beaten Everton, we'd have beaten West Ham, we'd be on 5 more points, which is 27, and we'd be in the top 4. And arguably, we would have maybe not bottled that lead to Forest, who we should be beating. So that's potentially 7 more points. 7 more points will put us on 29 points in second. When you look at the points we've dropped and when you look at the tactical decisions in the games where we dropped points, I think we could be on second. I think if they'd have sacked him at the start of the season and brought in a competent manager that played to get the best out of the squad, I think we could be in second right now. Generally think we could have been. I don't think we'd finish second, but I actually think when I look at the points we've dropped through to tactical reasons, yeah, I'd say maybe we could be in second. So yeah, we're 8th and we're 3 points off top 4, but if we sacked him, we might be in second. You know, if we finish 8th, it's no good. It's no good if we finish 8th because we're out of Europe again. Oh, how are we going to get Elliot Anderson out of Europe again? This is what I mean. We're still in the race, but have we seen enough from this manager to think that he's going to get us top 4? I think the squad is capable of sneaking 5th this season when I look at the other teams. I think it's such a mess, the Premier League. The squad is capable of sneaking 5th, but I don't think the manager's able to. You know, I generally think when I look at the points we've dropped, where we could be in the league. Thank you very much for the super chat, Ray. Here we go again. Sack merry-go-round again. We never change, and the next manager will talk about sacking a year this time round. Look, you might be right. It's incredibly boring. Sack this manager, sack that manager, sack merry-go-round. There is that part of me that's like, do we just sit through the bad and give a manager 3 years? But I think the manager's also got to earn the 3 years. You know, Ten Hag in his first season earned the full second season because he came third and won the Carabao Cup. I got why, even though it was really bad in Ten Hag's second season, I got why this club gave him his whole second season. The reason they gave him the whole year is because what he did in the first season, he came third, he won the Carabao. Ruben Amorim comes in, takes us from 8th in the league to 15th, gives Tottenham their first trophy in 15 years, and is Ange's only win of about 2025. You know? So I look at it, and I think, say what, you know, sack this, sack that, and it's annoying sacking managers, and it's this annoying cycle, but what has he done to deserve a full season this year? When there's an opportunity to get European football, when he's not improving any players, when he's not taking advantage of the academy, what has he done to say, we're going to give him 3 years? Because when we look at the principles of Man United, if someone said to you, what are the principles of Man United? You would say the youth, the academy, and attacking football. We play the most defensively cowardly football, even when we're playing relegation sides at home, even against Grimsby. We play defensive football. We set up negatively, and we don't improve players, we don't improve the youth, and we don't utilise the academy. Man United was built on attacking football in the academy. That is our identity. Ruben Amorim is anti-Manchester United because he won't use the academy, he won't use the youth, and he won't play attacking football. That in itself, regardless of results, should be a sackable offence for any Man United manager. INEOS are acting like they know Manchester United and they know what Manchester United is all about. Then why have we got a manager that won't attack, that won't play the youth, when that's what Man United's all about? And look, hopefully we beat Wolves. Hopefully we beat Bournemouth. Because after Wolves and Bournemouth, we lose Mbeumo and Ahmed to AFCON. And we've got Villa. And we've got Newcastle. And that could get nasty. So we need to win these next 2. And we should have beat West Ham. The thing that frustrates me was this was our easy run. For me, this was our chance to get up in that top 4. I honestly think right now we should be sitting in 3rd place with Villa. I honestly do, because this was our run. We actually did well in the difficult run. We've actually done better in the harder games. This was the run before AFCON. I said in AFCON we're going to drop points because we're losing such key players. So we need to make sure we do well. We won 3 games in a row. Obviously the Liverpool game, bit of fluke, but I'll take the win. Liverpool were awful. The Brighton game, boom. And then Forest, we should be winning that. Draw. Tottenham should be winning that when you think of how bad they've been recently. Draw. And we have last minute things just to get a draw and stop us losing. Everton, we lose 1-0 and they have 10 men. Atrocious. Palace, we were atrocious in the first half, but we turned it around through individual brilliance. Our open play XG versus Crystal Palace was about 0.03. It was something like 0.05. It was something awful. West Ham, atrocious. So we've got must-win, easy to win game versus West Ham, easy to win game versus 10 men Everton. Tottenham and Forest do a crap. We can't win any of them. We beat Crystal Palace because they're knackered. We've got Wolves who are absolutely crap, and I think we will win. If we don't win to Wolves, I'd be actually shocked at how bad we are. Bournemouth, who are crap at the moment, getting battered every week. And then we have this difficult run because these 6 games, even though it's got Burnley and Leeds and Wolves in it, who are 3 of the worst teams in the league, these 6 games we might not have Amorim and Mbeumo for. And I just look at this and I think, well, actually, we had a really nice run of fixtures. We've not taken advantage of it. So we need to take advantage by beating Wolves and Bournemouth, who we should be beating, because we're going to go into the AFCON period and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Very tough. Please, if we can sack the Glazers, please. Most other seasons we'd be punished for our current form. We're lucky that the number of clubs are struggling. Yeah, we're lucky. This is what I mean. Any other season, we'd probably be 15th in the league right now of Ruben Amorim when you actually look at the football we're playing. But because every other club can't pick up points, Newcastle, Tottenham, Liverpool, we're quite lucky that we're still in and around the European talk. Because any other season, we wouldn't be around the European talk. But everyone else is dropping points. And this is what frustrates me, is I'm like, we've got a serious opportunity to take advantage of the rest of the league falling off this year. It's not going to be this season next year. And we still can't. We still can't. Stop blaming the manager. He's not done anything wrong. Right, okay. What makes you think that? I'm not saying we sack Ruben Amorim, we bring in a new manager, we go to a 4-3-3 and we're going to win the league. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when I look at the squad that we have, when I look at the football we're playing, and when I look at the negligence of youth, I look at that and think he's underachieving with the current players we have. He's not improving the players. He's not playing a sustainable style of football that I like to watch, and he's not involving the youth, and therefore he's not what a Manchester United manager should be. You know? You don't keep a crap manager just because you're fed up of sacking managers. Absolutely facts from Gaz. I want to be wrong about Ruben Amorim. I think we're going to win our next 2 games, but even when we win our next 2 games, I need to see more. Even if we win our next 2 games, and I think we will, I can't say, oh, I was wrong about Ruben Amorim, he's the guy, because we won back-to-back games. We won back-to-back games last month, and everyone was saying we need to apologise to Amorim. Do you remember? We won back-to-back games last month, and half the comments were like, apologise to Amorim, apologise to Amorim. What? Because we won back-to-back games. Because we won back-to-back games for the first time in a year, we now need to apologise to a manager that took a year to win back-to-back games. If we win back-to-back games versus Wolves and Bournemouth, great, brilliant. We're probably in a really good point in the league. But I won't be apologising to Amorim because we might go and lose the next 4 again. You know, well, we won back-to-back games, say sorry to Amorim. Well, look how crap we are now. The standards are disgraceful at this club. I haven't been this bored watching us since LBG. You've got Mbeumo, you've got Cunha, you've got all these talented attackers, and he's limiting them. Mbeumo wasn't great yesterday. Cunha wasn't great yesterday. But the system makes their job 10 times harder. We're limiting the players. Our open play XG every game is getting worse. Every time we dominate possession, we're atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. I think because of what happened with Fergie a million years ago, everyone thinks, well, if we give him 5 years, he'll turn into Fergie. Or we'll turn into Everton, who beat us. And just become a mid-table club for the rest of our life. FA Cup draws Monday evening. I'm excited for that. Could see JJ Gabriel there. Alice, Amorim had money thrown at him and his system and nothing's changed. You're right. Amorim is anti-United. I've tried to be positive. I've tried to look for any positive and reason to back Amorim that I can. But he's not a Man United manager. He's not a Man United manager. Because he's anti-youth. Anti-youth. Look, do we need a midfielder? Yes. Would Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson improve this team? Yes. Would Semenyo improve this team? Yes. But this manager could sign Lamine Yamal and ask him to play right centre-back. Like, this is how I feel about this manager. Oh, I've got Lamine Yamal. Do you want to play right centre-back? I just feel like he doesn't know how to profile players. He doesn't know how to profile players. People should be anti-INEOS because they signed Amorim and haven't backed him. I agree to an extent. I don't think it was a disgrace that INEOS didn't bring in a midfielder. Disgrace. So I partly agree with that. I think INEOS need to step up. And every manager needs players, but you need to show improvement over time to get backing. You're absolutely right. You know? We've got when I look at Amorim and I look at the lineup, yeah? You've got a right back playing centre-back. You've got a left back playing centre-back. Your only centre-back playing centre-back is 19 and hasn't started a game all season. You've got a left back So you've got a right back playing left wing back. You've got a right winger playing right wing back. You've got the best and most creative number 10 in world football playing defensive midfield. You've got a 9.5 that you want to, who is a technical player that you want to be a target man striker. You know, how many players were misprofiled? How many players in the starting 11 were misprofiled by Amorim yesterday? Half the team. If you just played the team in their best roles, their best positions, to their strengths and profiled them correctly, we'd be a lot better. The only reason I give Amorim for staying is who's going to come in right now. Because I don't think there's many managers that can come in and change this club completely around. There's not many good managers in the market. So you could say if we sack Amorim, who do we bring in? Michael Carrick to the end of the season? Van Nistelrooy to the end of the season? I'd go for Kieran McKenna, and he got Ipswich relegated. But I look at what he did when he was at Manchester United and how he got the vibes back. And I look at Ollie Ball and I go, actually, it was all right football. We scored goals. We had times that we enjoyed. Maybe we look at McKenna as interim to the end of the season, or Michael Carrick as interim to the end of the season. I don't know. But it's atrocious. I'm Newcastle. I'm sure you'll beat Wolves. Talking of Newcastle, I think that would be the perfect loan for Mainoo. It wouldn't help us because we're competing with Newcastle for Europe. But I think Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali and Mainoo would be such a balanced midfield three. Because Joelinton's got the physical side that Mainoo lacks, but Joelinton hasn't got the technical side that Mainoo has. And in games where Newcastle dominate possession, they need someone more technical. I think Kobbie would be class in that midfield three. But anyway, look, I'm going to wrap up the live stream here. We're going to talk about Kobbie in another video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. See you next time. Bye.